Yo guys, what's up? It's Justin back with Monster Monday. On this episode of Monster Monday, we are talking about the Jersey Devil. Now, the story of the Jersey Devil is kind of, well, it's weird. And the story goes, there's actually two versions of the story. The first story was that Mother Leeds had 12 children. And on her 13th child, she cried out in pain during labor, "Let it be the devil." It had features of a monster, as like she said. When she said, "Let it be the devil," that's what it was. And the report is that it flew around the room and killed everyone in the room before flying out of the window and into the Pine Barrens, which I'll put a picture of right here. And yeah, there were a rash of sightings, and I believe to this day there still is. From what I couldn't find any current sightings, but the description of this creature is bizarre because it sounds like an amalgamation. They say it's got the head of a horse. It has horns, like almost like antlers. It's bipedal, stands upright, and it has cloven hooves and a forked tail and these huge wings. And my thing is if more than one people have seen it and they describe the same thing, it's not mass hysteria. And they said it's about 7 to 8 feet tall. It was first reported in 1735. That's a long time ago, which means that this creature's been around for hundreds of years. It's also known as the Leeds Devil. One of the reported attacks was because it wasn't so much. Yeah, it was an attack. One reported attack was by a cab driver who said he had a flat tire, and when he got out to change the flat tire, he said he heard something from the woods. And when he looked up, this huge, monstrous creature came out, stepped out of the woods, and made this scream, almost like a scream and a screech mixed. Like a human scream and a screech mixed. And he said he jumped right back in the cab, and he said he could hear it flapping above him and just like beating on the roof of the car like it was trying to get in at him. I'd be terrified. I would have definitely been terrified, because the first thing is you don't know how strong it is, and if it's beating that hard, I think it knows it could have gotten in. But I think it was just trying to scare him out of the Pine Barrens. That's where this creature's been seen. And they said people have also said that they've seen it around the Leeds house, which is in the Pine Barrens. From my understanding of what I read, it's in the Pine Barrens, or it's around or near the Pine Barrens. This is the Leeds house. This is where the supposed story happened. The other, I forgot to tell you, the other version of the story is that their father, or its father, was a drunk. He was an alcoholic, and he was a big gambler. And I'm paraphrasing this, so it might not be as correct as the actual story, but what I remember being told of it was he made a bet with a devil or somebody he was playing poker with. He bet his child. It sounded like he bet that his child would be a demon if he didn't win this hand. And he lost. It didn't make much sense, but like I said, I'm paraphrasing, so I'm probably not, it's not accurate to what I couldn't find the actual story. I could only find the mother Leeds story, which is the one that's primarily told. But yeah, during the week of January 16th, 1909, I'm just only looking down to make sure that I'm getting this quite right, checking my notes. There were hundreds of claims of this creature. There was also on the show Monsters in America. There was a man who was telling his story. He said him and his sister were on the couch watching TV. Their parents went out, and all of a sudden they heard something hit the roof, but they weren't sure. They thought maybe it was like a branch off a tree or something. So they didn't think nothing of it, and all of a sudden they heard something in the basement. And the only way into the basement was through like oh man, if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up. But it's like a chimney, but it's not a chimney. Yeah, if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it in. But they heard something rampaging in the basement, like it was pissed. And then they heard it walking up the stairs, and good thing that the door to the basement was locked. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Good thing it was locked, because they heard it rattling the door and banging on the door like it was trying to get into the house. So when their father came home, he grabbed his gun and he went down there. And by this time, the creature had flown back out of this thing, of this chimney. Well, his father went down there, and he saw what had happened, and he knew his kids couldn't have done it. So he dismantled the fireplace. He just tore it down, which I would have too. Then there was another story where this mother and her son were taking down Christmas decorations, and her son loved doing this with his mother. And when they were out there, they're taking down the Christmas lights, and all of a sudden he stopped helping her, but he's staring up into the trees. And of course she's kind of half-assed paying attention to him, because she's trying to get these lights down. And she says, what's going on? What are you looking at? What are you looking? And she turns, and he's just like in awe. And he's staring at this one tree. And when she looked up, she said she saw this monstrous 7 to 8 foot tall creature kind of crouching in the trees with its wings almost fully wrapped around it. And she said you could see its red glowing eyes. And she said it went up in the air with one fell swoop and started to dive bomb them. So they ran in the house, and they said they could hear it walking on the roof back and forth. Well, there was snow on the roof, and they got footprints on the roof, which that also leads me to believe that it's no hallucination, because how can you see footprints and everybody else see the same thing? I don't know. I think it's real. I believe that there's things in this world that we don't know. I believe there's creatures in this world we don't know, because there's so much of our world that's undiscovered, that I believe that they could be hiding and you'd never know it. I believe in every mysterious account that people have. Whether it's paranormal or it's, cryptids. These creatures that nobody can seem to prove to be real. And I think these creatures are smarter than us, and they realize that we are not just a danger to ourselves, but we're a danger to them. So they're going to try to not be found by us, because humans kill what they don't understand. So, yeah. Well, that's all I got for you on the Jersey Devil. If there's anything else that I may have missed or forgot, let me know in the comments below, and I will make a part 2. So, yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.